The Battle of I-75 that happened last night in Bowling Green at 𝗦𝗽ṛ Stadium, Bowling Green, Toledo. This game was absolutely electrifying. Here are some scenes from the game last night. Toledo comes away with a 32-31 victory in this game after Bowling Green led the game for about 3/4 of that game. And with a $1:45 left in the game on a 4th and 2 play, 𝗦𝗽ře_𝗶𝘶 goes for 59 yards and the touchdown to tie up the game at 31 all. And then the extra point puts Toledo ahead 32-31. This all happened, by the way, Mike Rob, when BG was up 28-10 at the half. So when you're looking at this matchup here, a story of two halves on the gridiron last night.
Absolutely. I mean, the first half, Bowling Green came out with an amazing game plan. They did what they wanted to do. They used a lot of trickeration and a lot of formations to be able to put Toledo defense in a bind. And then offensively, Toledo just needed some snow to be able to get sledding because it just wasn't going their way in the first half at all. 𝗦𝗽ře didn't look like himself. Penny Boone wasn't able to get the yards that they wanted to. A lot of silly penalties, put the Rockets behind the chains. And they were quite honestly shooting themselves in the foot. And in the second half of this game, like you said, the Rockets made the adjustments necessary and came out offensively and dominated and defensively the same way.
I love this matchup. So many great things to explore here. Those pictures you took, Brendan, saw Storm Norton. Did you just catch Storm Norton there on the sidelines? There, the boy. Storm Norton, former Whitmer guy, former UT guy, played in the NFL. Good to see him back in the 419. That play that you talked about, the 59-yard touchdown pass from 𝗦𝗽ře to 𝗦𝗽ře_𝗶𝘶. Tried right, gang M, right 60, M hold to wind, the play call for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different words as a part of that. Love the terminology and the language there. But what I noticed is the big play capability of UT.
Yes.
All the points that BG scored were grinded out, 5 yards here, 7 yards here, 3 yards here, 12 yards here. And that worked for getting points on the board, but with UT, a 59-yard pass there. 𝗦𝗽ře, a 23-yard run. Van der Ross, a 22-yard touchdown pass. So bigger chunk yards plays that sometimes just break the back of a defense. But for them to get the job done, for UT's student section, hats off to both student sections, for UT and BG. They stayed the entirety of the game because it was a close game in that second half. And then UT's student section storms the field on the opposing turf. I like that. Just adds another layer of the rivalry. I love the rivalries and the little tiny tidbits from year to year to year. That's fantastic. So 12 out of 14, UT has beaten BG in the last 14 games, 3-2 in the last 5. And UT keeps it alive. They've won 10 in a row. I mean, just go back to September, the beginning of the year, that road loss at Illinois on a 4th down play where Illinois has to make a perfect pass and a perfect catch to set up the go-ahead game-winning field goal, or we'd be talking about UT potentially being 11-0 instead of 10-1. But they're still in the mix with Liberty and Tulane also in the group of 5, trying to get the top ranking there for a chance at a New Year's Six Bowl. So everything's on the table. It looked dire for a little bit, but UT, punch for punch, came through in the clutch.
Absolutely. And two key things that I want to look at with that game, Mike Rob. The second half adjustments from Toledo.
Yep.
I mean, coming in that second half, scoring right after, getting a 3-and-out, I believe, on Bowling Green that first series. And then the second thing, Connor 𝗏𝗟𝗏 going down for Bowling Green really affected the offense for Bowling Green in that second half.
Yeah, the defense, stepped up in a lot of different ways, and a lot of that has come to the, fallout of 𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗏, because Judge Culpepper, Deshaun Holt had about 2 or 3 sacks on the night, putting a lot of hits on that quarterback, and he was already banged up. I think there was a point in time in the third quarter where Judge Culpepper hit him 2 times in a row, and he was just really grimacing, trying to get up off the ground. And when that happened, I knew they had to play 𝗏, and 𝗏 is not necessarily your throwing type of quarterback. He's a running guy. He's going to be really good by the time his career is over. I guarantee you that. He's somebody that you're going to watch out for. But at this moment in the season, he wasn't ready for it. And then last year, what adds to this thing is Tucker Gleason was the quarterback in this game last year at the Glass Bowl. 𝗏𝗏 didn't play in this game, so he's really getting his feet wet in this game and trying to get it going, and he really didn't want to lose that game. There was a point in time I was sitting on the bench listening to Coach Staten what he said. He was like, let's take their hearts like they took ours. And that's what he said in the third quarter to the tight ends. And then when I heard that, I knew I was like, oh yeah, these dudes they're ready to go, and then they made a nice comeback.
Take a look at the stats of the two quarterbacks for BG. 𝗏𝗫𝗍, 23 of 35 for 286 yards and a touchdown, 0 interceptions. Yes, he was sacked 4 times, like you mentioned. Camden North, 3 of 11 for 23 yards. He was sacked once. He did have a touchdown pass, but the running game for Orth, 9 runs for 38 yards, a net of 29. So ineffectiveness in that second half, and Coach Scott Loeffler said they were going for the win in their second to last drive, and they weren't connecting. The passes were just not on point, and Quinyon Mitchell, star defensive back for UT, will be in the NFL next year. He had 2 pass breakups last night.
Elite 40. Breakups.
Yeah, he's got 44 on his career, so that's the all-time pass breakup leader for UT, passing Sam Womack, another star in recent years for UT. So they've clicked. They didn't click in that first half, but over the course of the season, the true test of time on a bigger sample size, offense is awesome for UT. Defense has played well, not as well as last year, but still room for growth there. And then special teams, we saw 𝗏𝗏𝗏. How about him? He ran back the opening kickoff, had a kickoff return in midweek action last week, and then he catches that ball. Dude, he was flying down the sideline. I mean, it was a all-out sprint looking like Usain Bolt 100-meter dash in the Olympics, and he had that lane. I'm just surprised that there's no BGDB to kind of filter over from the middle of the field there.
There was one over there, but a lot of credit has to go to Mr. Torres. Torres had the block of the game. You know, he ran down the sideline right there with 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and he was running step for step with him, putting a hand on the defensive back there, and gave that little bit of a crease for 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to go. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it, and you'll see Torres, who was a player that who made that play happen. So great point right there, Justin.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that is going to do it here for our discussion of the Battle of I-75. Congratulations to the Rockets coming out there and getting.
I love when you say that.
Win. You know,
he's a BG grad. Viewers at home, he's a BG grad.
Yes,
Look at his cup.
I'm a Falcon. I got the BGSU cup. We got Mike Robb, the Rocket over here. You know, it's a good time. Congratulations to the Rockets. It was a fantastic game, and actually, my very first Battle of I-75 that I've ever actually attended. I've been at Bowling Green since 2019 and haven't been able to be to a game. So
that's on you, Brendan.
I know.
That's on you, Brendan.
I had to watch the big game last year on the TV, but it's okay.